biggest lessons I learned at a very young age. Number one, and I've shared this before on my YouTube channel, right? You know, I grew up with my grandparents and all that fun stuff. And I learned two biggest lessons at a very young age. And when I say young age, I'm talking about like from like, let's say 4 up, because that's when you really start to remember things and know what's going on and be cautious of certain things, I think. But from a very young age, I learned two things. And I don't know if this should be 3 things, but let's start with 2 things. Number one, Jesus. Jesus is the most important person or spirit that you need to have in your life. I grew up with the understanding that you don't mess with Jesus. Like, Jesus is real and he's the savior of your life. And anything you're going to do in this life, in order to be successful, you need Jesus. So I learned the importance of Jesus from a very young age. And I'm so thankful for that. I've shared a story on this channel of how I saw Jesus when I was a young girl. I can't remember, maybe like 7 or so. I saw Jesus, right? I have a video on that on my YouTube. And I felt like God revealed himself to me at such a young age. To do what? I don't know. But now it's making sense. So just to do a quick recap of that story, I was home in Nigeria, living in Alagbado, and our house was massive, right? And then we had this upstairs attic area. It was this open space, like open space at the top, right? Like a rooftop, yes. So I went there, which I go there often, right? But on this particular day, I saw a creature that stood in front of me in form of clouds, full-fledged, like I could see eyes, I could see feet, I could see a white robe, and I froze. Oh my God, I froze. So I feel like that experience, I'm not going to go into all the details. I've done a video about it. I'll try to link it if I can. So the importance of Jesus has always been in my head and in my mind from a very young age, that you don't mess with Jesus. You don't mess with your faith. Take your faith seriously. Take Jesus seriously. You're going to need Jesus in this journey of life. Ain't that the gospel? Ain't that the gospel truth that this life you are going to need a lot of Jesus? And it's so true. So that's one thing I learned at a young age, that you need Jesus. You need Jesus. Trust me, you need Jesus. And then the second thing I learned at a young age is that education is so important. Don't play with your books. Oh God, I know, this new age now, everybody's woke. Everybody's woke. I don't need to go to school. I don't need to go to college. Everybody's woke. Don't deceive yourself. When I was young, right, I learned that education is important. Education is important. God, education is important. If you don't read your book, you will suffer. Hey. And I know people like to give example of Bill Gates dropped out. Something dropped out. Now they are millionaires. Okay. Name somebody that dropped out that is a millionaire now. Again, people try to pick this rare circumstances and use it as a backup for their laziness, but read your book. Let me even forget. Read your book. Read it. I learned at a young age. I remember read your book. If you are going to be someone in this life, read your book. Education is important. Now, I'm not saying, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, I'm not saying that, but education is, whatever you choose to do, make sure that you educate yourself and you get an education, okay? There's a system in this world. Whether you're in America, whether you're in the UK, whether you're in Nigeria, there's a system in this world. Go to school, get a degree, get a job. Yes, I know God has created us to be so much more than our career path or our professions or than our 9 to 5. So you can do different things. You can be you're creative. Let's say you like to do makeup. Go for it. Get your education though. You like to do fashion, YouTube and all of these other things. It's great. But get an education, right? Education is important. I learned that at a young age. If not, you will suffer. Hey! It's going to be oh my tough gone. Because there's a system in this world, right? And you just want to make sure that you're doing your part, right? And as children of God, God has a way of blessing every one of us as children, but do your part. So I learned at a young age, that education, read your book, be serious with your school and your education, and you will not suffer. Yes. And I'm so glad I even learned that, because it has helped. I learned a lot from my grandpa growing up. That man, he loved education. And I've shared his story on my channel about how I did a 20th remembrance video of him, because he died. Well, now it's going to be 23 years. And wow, it's going to be 23 years now in 2023. But I did a 20-year remembrance video of my grandpa. And I learned so much from him. He strongly believed in education. This man grew up poor. He grew up poor with nothing. He had to fend for himself, fend for his siblings, and he gave himself an education to the point that he even flew himself out of Nigeria to London to go study some more. He believed in education, and that education helped him to be successful. So I learned a lot from my grandpa when it comes to that education piece, because, man, that man, nah. I have a lot of respect for my grandpa. He taught me that education, and you can be whoever you want to be, right? If you put your mind to it, if you work hard towards it, if you study, read your books, take your school seriously. Don't be, when they send you to school, this is my Nigerian self coming out now. When they send you to school, focus on your books. Focus on your books, read your book. I learned a lot from my grandpa in terms of that, in the sense that education is important. Don't joke with it. So that grit for me to be able to chase my education, to be able to go to school, focus on my books and not be distracted. He's loud. Yeah, it's loud. Yeah, I got that from my grandpa. Yeah, bless his heart, bless his soul. But yes, those are the two things I learned. And I don't know why three things is I wanted to share two things, but three things are coming to my mind of what I learned growing up. I don't know where to fit this one into, but at a young age, you don't need boyfriend. Hey, God. When I got to America, I was so shocked at the people having boyfriend at like 16, 17. I said, what happened? Wait, what? As in, I don't understand. Why? I didn't really understand the American thing, but focus on your book. I was talking to my husband the other day, and I was like, I don't understand this American children. And I know it's happening in Nigeria now. Like young kids having boyfriend. And I'm just like, why? The only thing that you need to focus on right now is Jesus and your education. Literally, I was telling my husband this, and he was like, yeah, it's an absolute waste of time. That's what I learned at a young age, that I shouldn't be having boyfriend at a young age. It's a waste of my time. Oh, God. Waste of time, waste of emotion, when you're supposed to be focusing on your books and going far in life, you're wasting time with boyfriend. It's not going to end well. Yes, and I know some people say, oh, yeah, there are some high school sweethearts that end up getting married. What's the percentage? Tell me the percentage. That's just something I learned. I don't know why I kept coming to my mind, but yeah, focus on your education. I was telling my husband, I was like, until my kids are 21 or 25, no boyfriend. Oh, God, because you need to focus on your books and your life, your career, before you start adding somebody to it. For what? You don't need that. Yeah. God help my kids. Yeah. But anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please share with your friends and family members, loved ones. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Help the ministry. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.